Hello, welcome everyone to In the Pocket Podcast. I'm Xander Cook with Max Sturm and Logan Martin. Max, it's your and I's first time being together in the new apartment. So this is fun. We're using the single laptop. Logan's on his own, sadly can't join us here at the crib.
Sorry, boys. I feel like I'm right next to you guys.
I'm only a little bit depressed, but it's okay.
We need to
Xander,
watch some football on a Sunday
intro,
together,
you killed
boys.
it. Cheers to that, brother.
Cheers to that. This episode is not sponsored by Buzzball. Just want to point that
Not
out.
yet.
Or by
Not
Sierra
yet.
Nevada.
Not yet.
Yeah, anyway, we'll be talking a little bit about the upcoming games for week 5. We got one in the books already. I think we'll probably go ahead and just do a short recap on that.
Yeah.
Logan, if you got anything else to add, or you just want to get right into
Yeah, man. Let's
that
get right
game?
into the pick'em segment. Let's go over the records, though, first of all.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So, week 4 versus the spread, I went 8-8, 500, pretty solid. I'll take that. Max, you went 6-10. Not terrible considering how we did the first week. We've only been doing this for 2 weeks. And to be honest, within the first 4 weeks of the NFL season, we've chose the 2 worst weeks to pick against the
I
spread.
was just about to say,
We really did.
By far.
We really did.
just
And
about
not
to
make
say,
okay, I
2
can't
weeks
make too many
before.
excuses, but it has been tough. I mean, I went 4-12, and for me to go 8-8, like I still have a pretty bad record, but
And
it's
in week 2,
work in
just
progress. Chipping away, baby.
Let's forget the spread for a minute. Even in the straight up records, week 2 was a very good week for me. I went 13-4 or 13-3,
Yeah,
and
you got first. You were
had a
first.
really good week that week. And these last 2 weeks have been so weird with the upsets that we've had, or just the down to the wire games. Like obviously we had Green Bay and in Cleveland, where Cleveland blocks a kick to win the game.
And how about the fucking Green Bay and Dallas?
Yeah, dude, that's a game that I wish we could have recapped this week. Ends in a tie, of course.
Right.
Really. So let's get into it. First game, 9:30 a.m. in London. Vikings versus the Browns. Vikings are favored by 4.5 points.
I don't
Max, you want to kick it off?
Who?
Max.
Oh yeah. The Vikings should win this game, right? We think that they should win this game. Do we know if McCarthy's back yet, or is he on IR?
No, he's still out with a high ankle
IR.
sprain.
So we got
Yeah.
Carson Wentz again, who hasn't played terrible. He almost mounted a comeback against your Steelers last week.
That's more of an offense issue on our part.
Yes,
Just
it
saying.
is. It is for sure. But still, regardless, he almost comes back. The Cleveland Browns defense is really,
Yes.
really good. It's one of the best defenses in the league right now, despite their record. It really shows that unless you have a powerful offense, it does not matter what you have on the defensive side of the ball. Everyone will say defense wins championships, and in some cases it does. But if you don't have a good offense, you've ultimately got to score points. And the Cleveland Browns cannot do that. We've got Dylan Gabriel starting this week, which is another crazy storyline. I don't know, Logan, if you saw the Shedeur Sanders interview where he just goes mime. I really don't know if I can call this game, but if I had to guess, do you want my prediction now, or are we going to talk about it first?
I mean, you just talked about it. Give your prediction whenever you feel like it.
I think that the Vikings win 21-17. I think it's real damn close.
Okay.
So the Browns cover, Vikings win.
Browns cover just because of their defense.
All right, Xander, what do you think?
I have a lot to say about this. So, with the Vikings last week, their offensive line got torn apart. They got torn apart by a defense that looked like shit during their first 2 weeks. Gave up 32 points to the Justin Fields Jets. Gave up 31 points to Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. Realistically, they look like shit for the first 3 weeks. They should have given up over 35 points to Drake May and the Patriots. Got bailed out with turnovers in the red zone, the interception in the end zone. That was a horrible pass on Drake May. And then Ramondre Stevenson, being the butterfingers he is, fumbles at the inch line for Peyton Wilson, I believe, recovering it in the end zone. Realistically, the Steelers defense looked like crap the first 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden, started clicking against the Vikings, held them to 6 points through 3 quarters. And a lot of that is because that Vikings offensive line looked like they didn't want to be there. Obviously, injuries are a concern on that in the front, but
A lot of travel too.
they just looked like they didn't want to be in Ireland. They didn't want to play the Steelers. Steelers they had double-digit pressures. They had 6 sacks. They forced a few turnovers. That offensive line was getting manhandled all day. Keanu Benton had a sack and a half. He has not had a sack and a half in ages, and he tore apart that offensive line. Now they're going to London. That's a shorter travel from Ireland, but you're still overseas. You're adjusting to the time zone, and you got to play Cleveland, who is statistically, in my opinion, the best defense in the league right now outside of Houston. I want to say Houston is leading the league in points allowed per game. Cleveland is, I believe, number 1 in either passing yards allowed or rushing yards allowed, and then top 3 in passing yards allowed and rushing yards allowed. It's one of those. And you have to you just got destroyed against that Pittsburgh front. Now you have to go against Cleveland, who have one of the best defenses in the league. You have Myles Garrett, who is defensive player of the year 2 years removed. It's not looking good. I'm just gonna say it as it is not looking good for that Minnesota front. And then Carson Wentz, he had over 300 passing yards, but most of that came in at a time when Pittsburgh was already up 24-6 when they were playing a lot of zone coverage. I don't see that offense clicking. And then defensively, Minnesota gave up over 130 rushing yards on the ground, I believe. 99 of that to Kenneth Gainwell, a backup on the Steelers.
Fantasy go!
And had 2 rushing touchdowns. Now you're playing Quinshon Judkins, who just had his best career game last week. He's going to be wanting the football more and more. He's going, give me that rock. I have my confidence back. Minnesota just gave up over 100 rushing yards. Feed me the fucking ball. He's going in there with an attitude. And Minnesota giving up over 100 rushing yards last week. Now you're going against Judkins. I think the same thing this week. And going back to Dillon Gabriel, you look back to his Oregon days, they played a lot of RPO, they played a lot of rollouts. So Cleveland and Kevin Stefanski, they're going to design a lot of plays tailored towards Dillon Gabriel. They couldn't do that with Joe Flacco. He's pushing 40. He can't roll out. Yeah, he's over 40. He can't roll out like he used to. He can't scramble. Now you have a 23, 24-year-old kid in there who's got legs. And he's going to have a lot more motivation, a lot more power than Joe Flacco has. That, to me, this game is my upset of the week. Having Dillon Gabriel in there, having that awesome defense going up against a Vikings team that just looked like shit all around, I'm going Cleveland upset. I'm going Cleveland 24-20.
Wow. Giving them some points. So it's a 36.5 point total, very low. Expect to be great defense. Talking about a Browns defense, 7th against the pass, 4th against the run. You know, they're allowing 70 rush yards per game. They played Derrick Henry. They played Lamar Jackson. They played Jahmyr Gibbs. They played David Montgomery. You know, this Browns defense, yeah, they got blown out by Detroit, but they held Jared Goff to 168 yards. This is what I got written on it. You know, Dillon Gabriel, does it provide a jolt? And I think so in the pass game. Brian Flores' defense is going to be a tough test. I mean, you got 3 offensive linemen from Minnesota out. You know, Donovan Jackson, your left guard, your center, Michael Juergens, and your right tackle.
Minnesota's offensive line. I'm talking about their D-line. They were manhandled by Pittsburgh's offensive line.
Hear me out. You know, Joe Flacco is thrown for 200 yards in one of his 4 games he started this year. He's thrown 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So what are the Browns going to get out of keeping Joe Flacco in the game? You got a veteran who's out there making mistakes, losing you football games. The Vikings are still a good team with Wentz, but the problem is Carson Wentz against man coverage has yards per attempt dropped by over 1.5 yards. He struggles against man coverage. So I think the pressure is going to be on him, especially with this offensive line banged up. You know, yeah, it looked weird against the Steelers. Rodgers averaged 9.1 yards of completion, but DK averaged 25 yards of reception. The only 4 other targets for the Steelers combined for 13 receptions for 5.5 yards. So they're picking them apart, throwing it short, and then throwing it to DK, taking their time and picking their spots. So I think that was impressive. So Dylan Gabriel has shown he in the preseason and against the Ravens, he can dink and dunk and throw and make completions. So that's what you want out of a quarterback. If you got a rookie coming in, the offensive coordinator is always going to tell you, just get completions. So I think that's going to be a focal point in this game. In a game that should be low scoring, I like the Browns within the 4.5 points. I already talked about Wentz versus man coverage. And Cleveland's defensive line is athletic and get to the quarterback. They can, play man coverage on the backside and rush for. So I got Minnesota win this game by 1 point, 17-16, very low scoring game. I think what's going to happen for the Browns on offense is they're going to find themselves in Minnesota territory a few times, and they're only going to get field goals. They're not going to get touchdowns, and that's where I trust Brian Flores' defense. Next game, Las Vegas Raiders at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are favored by 7 points. Xander, kick it off.
Oh, geez. So last week, Colts lost to the Rams 27-20. That game would have been sent to overtime had Adonai Mitchell not fumbled out of the end zone. I was wrong about the Colts this year. I think I had them around the 7-10, 8-9 area. They're 3-1 this year. Their only loss against LA last week. Realistically, they could very well be 4-0 had he not fumbled out of the end zone. They're different this year. Jonathan Taylor is running the ball with a lot of aggressiveness. He's back to his 2022 form where he's running the ball with finesse. He's dodging defenders. He's juking them out of their socks. It's something you'd love to see. That Colts O-line, pass blocking, run blocking, they're doing their thing. They're protecting Daniel Jones. They're opening up holes for Jonathan Taylor. And the Colts offense has looked the best it has had since Andrew Luck. And it's been years, and I'm talking years since that has happened. Colts fans have a lot to be happy about. And then with the Raiders, who'd they play last week? Oh, they played
Bears.
Chicago. They played Chicago.
Geno Smith threw 3 interceptions.
Three interceptions, and then it came down to a kick by Carlson that was blocked.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be not only a win, that was going to be a win by maybe 13 or more points had Geno not have been his Seattle self, turning the ball over, whether it's fumble or interceptions, doesn't matter. Realistically, Raiders could be 2-2 right now. This could be an interesting game. Ashton Jeanty went off for over 130 rushing yards, but the Colts defense has looked pretty decent against the run this season. So it's going to be interesting to see if changing back to that Michael Myers stance is going to do Jeanty's justice this week going up against the Colts. But it all comes down to this. It is a home game for the Colts. They've looked great all year, whereas the Raiders have looked kind of inconsistent at times. And the Colts have forced a lot of turnovers. Geno Smith is known to turn the ball over. I do like the Colts in this matchup, but I see it being a close game. This is the game where we all start to question, is Geno Smith going to start for the Raiders come week 8?
Yes, he will. I think he will.
My prediction, I think it's going to be a close game. I like after Ashton Jeanty's performance last week against Chicago, I think he not replicates it, but he gets somewhat close to it in a way against Indianapolis. And then Geno Smith, I don't expect him to throw 3 interceptions again. I do expect him to have sort of a bounce back week, but this could very well be a game where the Raiders start to question, can Geno be that guy to lead us to the playoffs? And I think all three of us know, I don't think he is. But in my opinion, I don't think the Raiders have that conversation after this week. I think Geno plays better than last week. I'm going Colts. However, I'm gonna say 27-24.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it real short and sweet. Geno Smith threw 3 interceptions against the Bears last week. The secondary for the Colts is so fucking good. I don't think this is going to be a problem for them. I think that Geno Smith is going to be under the pressure again. I don't think he's ever going to be taken out of the starting role because of how much money they paid for him.
Yeah, and you got Kenny Pickett as your backup. I don't think you go. Yeah.
Right.
Oh shit! I forgot Kenny Pickett was the backup, bro.
Yeah,
I
so
forgot about that.
I think that this defense is going to put a lot of pressure on Geno Smith, not only with the line that is not terrible, but the secondary that is just so good right now. I really think that the Colts should have this one in the bag, and I don't think it'll be close.
Really?
I think that the Colts end up winning this game. Daniel Jones has a really good game. Give me the Colts 30-10.
Wow. Okay.
Holy-
So Xander thinks I'm going to say it's a field goal game. I said I wouldn't be surprised. Like I honestly put money on the Colts.
You're not giving the Colts enough credit for
Yeah.
what they're trying to do.
I'm giving the
And
Colts a lot of credit. I'm giving the Colts a lot of credit, but
I
you
think
look
their home field
Oh,
advantage is
home
underrated
field
too.
advantage, but you look back at the Raiders' losses, they've been pretty close.
So I'm with Max on this one. I think it's a comfortable win for the Colts. I also want to bring up because I'm going to keep it short too. Brock Bowers, he's been dealing with a turf toe injury. Week 1, he had a great game, and since then he's just been under 40 yards, and obviously he's out there playing with a limp, and he's just not comfortable. He's questionable, but very doubtful to play in this game, and that's a huge factor. Without Brock Bowers against this Colts team, who's at home, I don't think they stand a chance. I think the Colts win this one, 31-20. Next game. This is a very interesting one, boys. And I posted this one on my Instagram story, and I'm going to lead this one off because I usually finish. I want to lead this one off. We got the New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. 2.5-point spread. New Orleans is favored. I will keep this short too. The Saints are dealing with a couple of line issues. Tight ends a question, especially with the health. Taysom Hill expected to come back, and I think if he comes back, that is a spark. Even though Spencer Rattler hasn't won a game, I think he is a quarterback that can win a game like this. This is the Saints' game to win. They're desperate. They haven't won a game. They have to get this one. Giants, the rookie quarterback, first away start. The defense is the worst in the league, bottom 3 in the league against the run. The Saints have the weapons to get yards. I think the Saints win this one, but they don't cover the spread. I have them winning 21-19. I think the Saints defense steps up in a crucial moment, but they're playing from behind. And that's just and that's an interesting take. I got the Saints winning this. I would never put money on the Saints as a favorite ever, especially when you have a quarterback who's 0-10. So I would never put any of my hard-earned money on the New Orleans Saints, but I think they win this game. Giants cover.
I disagree.
Wait, what score was
He said
21-19.
I disagree. Saints pass blocking is ranked 29th in the league. Now you're going up against Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, and
They've been underwhelming though, man. Very
it doesn't
Especially
matter.
Abdul Carter has been underwhelming,
He's still the leading favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the
which
Year.
is insane.
I don't think
He has 9 total tackles on the
Yeah,
season.
man. Dexter Lawrence hasn't been practicing either.
Here's the thing.
Dexter
Here's the
Lawrence
thing.
has not
Look
been
at-
practicing.
Look at Abdul Carter's performance. Yeah, only 9 tackles, but he's still forcing some pressure. He's still forcing the runner to go opposite direction because he's realistically, you look at the tape, he's winning a lot of his blocks. And that's why he's still the
but
favorite to win.
if you can't
Rookie
get to
of
the
the Year.
quarterback and you can't get your tackles, what good
He's
is
still
pressure?
he's still making plays. He's still forcing the quarterback to make those quick throws. And again, you have Dexter Lawrence,
No
Brian
neighbors.
Kayvon Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter. And you're the 29th in the league in terms of pass blocking. Now you're 0-4. You're at home. Yeah, the Giants just got their first win, but it was a comfortable first win, in my opinion, against one of the better teams in the league. I didn't doubt for a second that the Giants were going to lose that ball game against the Chargers. They just looked like the better team overall through all 4 quarters, in my opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
What was the score? What was the
I'll
score?
It was so that Chargers game, that was a close score. Even though it was a close score, I didn't doubt for a second that the Giants were going to lose that game. They looked better offensively. They looked better defensively. They looked better in all of their schemes. They were just clicking on every single end. Chargers, like Justin Herbert, looked pressured all day. He didn't look as confident as he normally did. Now you're going up against Rattler, dude. He ain't no Herbert. And yeah, you guys mentioned home field advantage. You're 0-4. Where's the home field advantage? You think fans are going to show up for a winless team to start 0-4 this season? No. No, the fans have already given up. Come on. Like, you're going up against one of the better defensive lines in the league.
All right, give them a score and then I'm jumping in.
I'm going to go back to the Giants offense. They looked comfortable with Dart. Yeah, Russ had that awesome game against Dallas, but more on Dallas later. I'll give my thoughts on that later. Jackson Dart looked like a leader out there. He was making plays with his legs. He was making plays with his arms. Now you're going up against the Saints defense that they've looked good at times, but they've also looked inconsistent at times. Realistically, yeah, it's in New Orleans, but it's going to be a home game for the Giants. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's going to be a home game for the Giants. They're winning 20-13. Yeah, it's an away game for a rookie quarterback. But Jackson Dart, I've been high on him since pre-draft process. He's going to make plays with his legs. He's going to make plays with his arms. Yeah, no Malik Neighbors for the season, but I like Wan'Dale Robinson. I like Tracy as a running back. Throw short screens to him. He's going to make plays with it.
I like Scatterboo more than either of those options.
Legs. I'm going 2013 Giants.
Okay. First of all, crazy take.
I don't think that's
no. Crazy take.
I don't think it's crazy.
Who Dat Nation? That's what they call themselves, right? Who Dat Nation?
They're 0-4.
I can't believe you just said it's a home game for the Giants. So acting like New Orleans fans aren't going to show up.
You really think
this is the game on the schedule the Saints and the Saints fans need? This is the game everyone's buying tickets to because this is the one that's going to win.
They needed the last 4 games.
This is the game
they lost all.
This is the game that the fans are going to because they should feel confident that they're going to win this game. Give me a second. Listen, this Saints team played against Buffalo last week and came within one drop essentially of winning that game.
They lost by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, because Josh Allen got the ball after a drop that didn't count as a touchdown. This game between the Saints and the Bills showed so much about the Saints and Spencer Rattler, his ability.
I want to go back to that.
Yeah.
You pregame said, I see this as a trap game for Buffalo.
I did, and look at what happened.
That says more about Buffalo than New Orleans.
The defense for Buffalo is scary. And
man,
we'll get to that when we move on.
Everyone had Buffalo.
But it was a trap game, and Spencer Rattler looked composed. He looked poised in the pocket, and when he needed to, he just took off. Mm-hmm. Spencer Rattler can complete those passes. Logan, you mentioned he's 0-10 in his career, but he's a guy who can win a game like this against a 1-4 team. Yes, the defense for the Giants is very good, especially their line. Their line is very good. I just think that the Saints have more offensively right now than the Giants do. You lost your number 1 guy. Wan'Dale Robinson? No. He's not going to be the guy that's going to
went off for over 140.
Yeah, because fucking Malik Neighbors was hurt. Who else are you going to throw?
No, it was with Malik Neighbors. It was against Dallas.
Okay, so you're going against the worst, and here's one of the worst defenses
I didn't even talk
football.
About it. Scatterboo, dude, against the Saints defense, give me over 100 total yards and 2 touchdowns.
Here's my deal. I'll make it real quick. Saints are winning this game. It's not going to be by a ton, but I like it. I like it 2017. I like that.
And they cover. I like that. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna keep this pace going.
Getting some debate in here, man.
A little spicy over the Giants and the Saints. I love it. A little spicy.
Yeah, no neighbors. I don't care. Giants are the more well-coached team. They're better offensively. They're better defensively.
Well-coached team. This guy is on the verge of being fired.
Dable made the playoffs. What has Kellen Moore done?
Dable made the playoffs
as a head coach. Kellen Moore 0-4. 0-4. Where else did Kellen Moore coach prior to this? Okay. As an offensive coordinator, he had Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith.
He's thrown into a fire. They were going to take a head coach with this roster.
The best offensive line in the league, and he had Saquon Barkley. Pair that with the best defense in the league. Who the fuck wouldn't win a Super Bowl with that team? all I'm saying. You look what he did with that Dallas team. Dak, Ezekiel Elliott, Des Bryant, and he also had CD Lamb at some point. Sometimes they didn't sniff the playoffs.
Listen,
and then he was with the Chargers. Yeah, Justin Herbert as his
Do you
quarterback.
understand
Yeah, Keenan Allen.
Do you understand what
had,
Kellen
freaking
Moore
Mike
took over?
Williams.
Do you
They did
understand?
nothing.
Do you understand what Kellen Moore took over? This game is not about Kellen Moore. It's about who they have on the field.
And who they have on the field. I like that.
You
Giants
guys got a
better
full clip on
better
the New
defense.
Orleans.
They
season.
don't have a better offense
Better
right now.
coaching.
They don't have a better
I
offense.
would
They don't.
I would take Dart over Radler 7 days after the week.
Started one game.
I don't care. Radler is 0-10
I mean-
for and he's
I mean,
about
I don't disagree with that, but the
Thank you.
situation is
Good
not
night.
good for him.
Thank you. Good night.
He has no Malik Neighbors. What is he going to do? Who's
Radler's
he throwing to?
0-10. He's 0-10.
Throwing to Theo Johnson?
Giants on Sunday.
No, he's not.
All right.
Nah.
New York Jets, home versus the
I
Dallas
get-
Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys favored by 1.5 points. And I'll keep this one short too. Dallas is banged up. No CD Lamb, no Turpin, no Guyton, no Booker, no Malik Hooker, no Tyler Smith is questionable, and Kenneth Murray Jr. is questionable. Everyone had Dallas getting smacked by Green Bay, and now they're road favorites. Now they're road favorites. They were expected to get smacked, and all of a sudden it's a tie. Now they're expected to be road favorites against a Jets team that should have beat the Miami Dolphins and choked on prime time, fumbled 3 times, gave it up. This Dallas defense is horrible. I think Garrett Wilson is going to have a big game. And one thing I noticed in that last game against the Dolphins, he had a touchdown catch that was ridiculous and it was insane. And instantly on the sideline, he's letting the head coach know, give me the freaking ball more. So I think they're going to make this a focal point against this horrible secondary for the Dallas Cowboys. I think he has a huge game. He's had a touchdown 3 of his first 4 games, so I wouldn't mind a touchdown prop with him either. He's going to torch him. Sauce Gardner struggling in man-to-man coverage. Giants can't pressure the quarterback. Dak Prescott's way better against the blitz and against pressure. So if the Giants struggle to get to the quarterback, then they can back up in zone, make it harder for Prescott. I got the Jets winning this game and covering 27-24.
You said Cowboys 27-24.
I have the Jets winning this game 27-24.
I want to back up. You said Giants can't pressure the quarterback.
The Jets can't pressure the quarterback. They're 29th in the league in pressuring the quarterback.
You have them winning.
Yes, because Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFL when facing pressure. So if you're a defense, why would you send the blitz against a quarterback who's best under pressure? Why would you not sit back in the zone, especially with cornerbacks who are not good in man-to-man coverage? Sauce Gardner's been getting called for holding penalties left and right because he can't play man-to-man coverage.
All I want
So
to
why
say,
would they not
all
go
I
to
wanna
zone?
say,
Most
That's-
overrated player. in the
Aaron
league.
Glenn is the head coach of the New York Jets.
And Steve Wilkes is calling the defensive plays. They need to give that up and give it to freaking
Aaron Glenn is
give it
still
to Aaron Glenn. Why isn't he calling the defense?
He's
Why?
still a defensive-minded coach.
Making him look bad,
Still
Steve
calling some
Wilkes.
plays. Defensive coordinator sending in some plays. Aaron Glenn has all the power in the world to override that.
But he's not calling the defense, man.
I'm sure
I
he-
promise you. I listen.
I promise you, as an NFL head coach, you hear the plays going through the headset. Aaron Glenn has 100%.
Brother,
No,
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, they're talking it over,
as an
but
NFL. Okay, that may be the case for college, but this is the NFL we're talking about. The head coach 100% hears the plays. If they don't hear the plays, that is absolutely
agree with you
ridiculous.
on that.
No, Aaron Glenn 100% hears the plays. He has all the power in the world to override those play calls. He is calling the defense on some sort of level. As the Lions defensive coordinator, they were one of the top defenses in blitzing the quarterback. Obviously, pre-injury to their entire defense last season. He is 100% going to send the blitz against Dak. He's going to try and force pressure against Dak. I don't care what the stat says. That's who Aaron Glenn is as a defensive-minded coach. Going back, okay, I want to talk about this. How about that fucking Dallas offensive line shutting down the Giants defensive line, shutting down the Packers defensive line? I'm blown away. Are you blown away? Are you
Yeah.
blown away? I'm fucking blown away by that offensive
despite
line.
the retirements of their 2 best offensive
I-
linemen.
Dare I say? I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Top 5 offensive line in the
Oh no,
league.
dude, you're absolutely right for saying that. For sure.
Logan?
what?
Top 5 offensive line in the league, Dallas.
Not now because they're banged up. They got 3 guys that are probably not going to play.
But so far.
But so far, I mean, Yes, I think they watching a lot of tape against Green Bay. I think they did well against the pass rush.
And then look at the tape against the Giants. Completely shut them down. All I'm saying is that Dallas offensive line, even though the Jets might send blitzes,
So you got
they
Dallas winning this game.
hold on, they may say may play zone coverage, may play man defense. I think that offensive line holds up regardless. Dak is gonna do his thing. Um,
I don't disagree with that. I just the options with most.
correct me if I'm wrong. Last time, obviously Dak played against the Giants at MetLife. When was the last time Dak played against the Jets at MetLife? Was that a Jets win? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure
I don't remember either.
I think the Jets might have won that game. Hmm. Okay, enough about that. Enough about that. I like the Cowboys offensive line. I love what Dak's been doing this year. Even without CD, Dak had his one of the best games of his career. We saw it against Green Bay,
Yeah,
who
but I agree with I agree with what you're saying. I do like the Dallas offensive line, but do you like the
yeah,
Dallas offensive line with no Tyler Smith, no
I
no
do
Booker?
because you look at the Jets D line, Tua was doing his thing.
It's their opportunity.
We saw 2022 Tua, 2021 Tua against that Jets D line. Tua was doing his thing. Aaron Rodgers, we saw Green Bay Aaron Rodgers against that Jets D line. Not the Jets Aaron Rodgers. We saw Green Bay Aaron Rodgers against that defensive line. I love Dallas in this game. I love Dak going off. I want to say Dak throws for 270 plus. And I'm not high on Justin Fields. I'm a Steelers fan. I saw what he did with us. I am not convinced in the slightest that this man can be a great thrower with the ball. He's relatively good throwing short passes, medium and long. I'm not convinced. He makes stupid decisions when he's hurried with pressure. He tends to roll out of the pocket and just stare down his number one read. That's unacceptable in the NFL. When your number one read isn't open, go to your number two, go to your number three, go to your number four. He stares down his number one almost every single play. Unacceptable in the NFL in this day and age. But like we mentioned before, it is Dallas defense.
So what's your score?
I'm going Dallas here. I think I'm going Dallas 31-27.
Okay.
31-27. I'm confident in that.
So my thoughts on this, I also think Dallas will win this game. In a league that it is so important to pressure the quarterback, especially someone as good as Dak under the pressure, it doesn't matter if they're 29th in the league at pressure. I think you still have to pressure them.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't pressure them, it's just easy over the middle. Dak knows how to read a zone. He's been in the league 10 years. At this point, he knows how to dissect a zone defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side of things, Justin Fields, his go-to when he gets in trouble is just run the ball. It worked against Miami because their defense is fucking terrible. You can run through them. You can run for 50 touchdowns against
I agree.
Dallas should win this game, and I think they will. But the Jets have always kept it kind of close with teams, especially the contenders so far.
Yeah,
so
the Bucks game.
So I would say it's going to be a 24-20 game.
So
Who wins? Who wins?
He's saying Dallas. He's
Dallas.
saying Dallas. Logan's the only one picking Jets. I'm glad we're all doing close games here because I think we all recognize that the Jets and both the Cowboys, they play tight games.
Yep, exactly right.
Denver in Philadelphia. Philadelphia was favored by 3.5 when I woke up a couple days ago. Now they're favored by 4.5. So Philly's at home. Both teams are healthy. How long can the Eagles get away with this, man? Barkley's got 60 yards per game, 3 touchdowns,
let's start
3.1 yards per carry. The offensive line's been underwhelming. AJ Brown's averaging 37 yards. Devontae Smith's averaging 39. Goddard's averaging 38. The pass is non-existent. They got away with a win without completing a single pass in the second quarter.
I cannot believe
How long can they get away with it? The Eagles have the better weapons on both sides, and I think the deciding factor in this game is that I trust the Eagles to score in the red zone. They're 100% in scoring when they get inside the red zone, and
Good
I think they're going to be able to score with ease once they get within the 20-yard line. And you know, we're talking about elite defenses. Vic Fangio spent 3 years in Denver. Now he's with Philadelphia. Obviously, he knows what they like over there. So I think the red zone's the key situation. Denver can compete, and I think they're going to cover the spread. But the question is, can they score in the red zone? That's the question I have with them against this Philly defense. Cortland Sutton has 7 receptions of over 15 yards, a lot of explosive plays this season. Can Quinyon Mitchell shut him down? Philadelphia wins this game by 1 point. They win 24-23.
Okay.
I like it. I
So-
like it.
My thoughts on this: Bo Nix has not been impressive at all. We saw him in his rookie year, and everyone was like, "Okay, he probably should have been a rookie of the year contender." This year it's a little bit different. He's not really shown up in these games, even against Cincinnati. That's who they played last week, right? Cincinnati.
Mhm.
He just didn't look great. His defense is what's carrying him. That's why they have a 2-2 record. If he was playing better, there's a potential for this team to be 4-0. Their defense is so damn good, but you're exactly right. With Philadelphia being 100% from the red zone this season, how could you not pick the Eagles to win this game? The Eagles do have a problem on the offensive side of the ball, though, and that's the passing game. You have 2 of the top, I'd say 20. Would you put Devonta Smith in the top 20 wide receivers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe the best number 2 option.
Yep.
Yep.
You have 2 of the top 20 wide receivers in the league on your team, and you are not using them. You said that how many yards per game is AJ Brown averaging? You said 37?
37.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That's insane because it does not seem like that. He went 2 for 7 last week, 2 receptions, 7 yards last week. These guys are frustrated. They are upset with this Philly offense, regardless of the record. And I think that's a little bit selfish, just coming from a fan base that has been so keen on using everybody.
Right.
As are 2 top 20 receivers in the league. Buffalo doesn't have a top 20 receiver in the league right now. So they're okay doing it the way that they are.
They have to expose the playbook more.
Exactly right. You should be using your top guys more than you are. The tush push isn't going to get you the win all the time. I promise you, when they play Buffalo, if they're playing like they play right now, they're losing that game. And I say that with confidence.
Yeah. Right. No, I agree.
You have to use your weapons. They don't right now, but I do think that it will be enough against this team with the Broncos offense struggling as much as they have so far. They've played some inferior teams so far. I think that Cortland Sutton going for multiple catches of 15 plus yards, he's your only option. I mean, you have Franklin over there who has also been pretty good on the deep ball, but he's not a number 1 wide receiver. You've got Cortland Sutton, who I think is your number 1 receiver, and you're only throwing him deep balls. You need to throw to him in the mid-range, in the short game as well, just to pick up those yards. I think it's so valuable to have a team that can pick away at a defense instead of always relying on the deep ball. And I think that the Broncos do that in terms of coming down to score against certain defenses like the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles, one of the best teams in the league, one of the best defenses in the league, aren't going to allow that as easy as someone like Cincinnati, who has one of the worst defenses in the league. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win 34-20.
34-20. Okay. I think the Bo Nix slander is unjustified here, in my opinion. So although he doesn't look as good as his rookie year, it's his second year, man. We've seen it so often, time and time again in the NFL. We see a lot of sophomore slumps in the NFL. The offense, in my opinion, is on par with last season. So
It's not.
and
They're team dependent on the run game. They can't get things
they
clicking
are.
if they can't run the
And
ball.
in my opinion, this team could very well be 4-1. We saw it against Indianapolis. They would have won that game had it not been for
Should have. That was a bad call. Yeah.
with the 60 or 59
Leverage.
yarder.
They wouldn't
And
have called that
yeah,
if it was a
leverage.
game
Yeah,
winner.
yeah, yeah. And then against the Chargers, they gave up a game-winning drive led to a field goal as time expired. This could very well be a 4-1 team, in my opinion. And even though Bo Nix hasn't looked like himself compared to his rookie year, he's still looked like a starter in this league. He's made some plays every game. Last week against the Bengals, he looked good. He didn't look great. He looked good. And that explained it in a 28-3 win, correct? Yeah, 28-3. Now you're heading into Philadelphia. Max is looking up the stats. Yeah, go to Broncos. 29 of 42, 326, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He looked good.
Congratulations against the fucking Cincinnati Bengals defense.
That's
bro.
another thing. It was against Cincy. Now you're heading into Philadelphia, a team who is a year removed from having the best defense in the league. And this year, even though they got rid of like 6 starters from that Super Bowl team, they still look like a pretty good defense. And you're heading into an environment that is tough to play at. And that's another thing, you look at the Eagles offense. They have not looked sharp this season. Saquon's only averaging 60 yards per game rushing. Now you're going up against the Broncos who have looked pretty good against the run. Jalen Hurts hasn't been as dominant as last year. Now you're going up against the Broncos who've looked pretty good against the pass. This is going to be a close scoring game. I think home field advantage is where it takes the cake here. I got Eagles 23-17. It's going to be a low scoring game, but at the end of the day, like I mentioned, I think Eagles playing at home, having that 4-0 record, having a lot of confidence. They haven't even looked sharp on both sides of the ball, and they're 4-0. Wait till they click offensively and defensively. This seems. Yeah, I'm scared of Philly personally. Yeah. We haven't even seen them at their best this season in their form.
Yeah. Let's just give a score prediction for Carolina Miami. I'm ashamed. This is like the grossest thing.
God, did you actually?
I got the Carolina Panthers winning this game 28-27. And
really? Wow.
It's a gross pick. It's a really, really gross pick. I just think I'm picking all these like desperate situations.
I'm glad you brought that up on the podcast because I am terrified for you with that pick.
You are. Well, let me bring up the schedule real quick. I mean, they lost to Arizona by 5.
They were down 27-9 at one point.
I mean, yeah, good point. That was the only promising game by Bryce Young. It's gross, man. No Hubbard, and I just think the Miami defense is so bad. I think give me Carolina. Max, give me a score.
Yeah, I've got Dolphins in this one.
Yep.
And I think it just comes down to the offense. Bryce Young, I don't trust that much. Give me the Dolphins to win 20-17.
Yeah, I'm with Max on this one. I think after last week going up against a meh defense against the Jets, now you're going up against a defense that has been so incredibly inconsistent in Carolina. I think that's a confidence booster for Tua with or without Tyreek Hill. I mean, that drive they lost Tyreek Hill, they ended up scoring a touchdown anyways. And I think Jalen Waddle could be that guy that steps into that wide receiver 1 role nonetheless. And you still have playmakers offensively. You have Achane who can torch Carolina with ease. I do like Miami in this one. I'm going to go 28-19.
Well, next game on the board, we got Texans in Baltimore. Baltimore, man, missing a ton of pieces. No Lamar, no Humphrey, no Ricard, no Roquan Smith, no Uzier, no Kyle Hamilton. Well, he's questionable. Ronnie Stanley's questionable. Owe is questionable. It's just everyone knows it. The Baltimore Ravens, they're desperate. If they fall to 1-5, the season's pretty much over. Texans are healthy though. I got the Texans winning this game. Their defense is too elite. 23. They win 23-16 in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I'm with Logan on this one. I'm just gonna keep it short. I got Houston 20-17.
Yep. With how decimated the defense is, and without your best weapon on offense that has kept you in games every single week, yeah, Texans win this one. I think that I said that the Texans probably only win 6 games this year because of their schedule and how bad they've played so far. I think that without Lamar Jackson, the Texans come in and they win 27-20.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, and quick stat before I move to the next game. Ravens with Derrick Henry, they are last in the NFL giving the ball to the running back on first and second down. It's unbelievable.
What the fuck?
So
That's
and
all I can say is what the actual fuck.
in this game, this could be the game of the week, and I wouldn't put money on it because I feel like it could go either way. And I'm surprised it's 3.5, but I'm also not surprised just because of what we've seen from Seattle. Quick stat: Coach McDonald 9-1 on the road. He's not as good at home. So can they beat Tampa Bay, who's desperate? They have injuries in the secondary and they have injuries in the wide receiver position. Those were the two questions coming into 25 season for the Buccaneers.
For me personally, I am with Logan on this one. This is 100% game of the week. Bucks 3-1, Seattle 3-1. You got Baker versus Sam Darnold, two guys who were cast-offs from Carolina. Now they're back facing each other, who have proven that they can earn that lucrative contract as a starting quarterback. This is going to be such a tremendous game, and it all comes down, in my opinion, to defense. I love Seattle's defense. I love Tampa Bay's defense. Ooh, you know what? I did say it all comes down to defense. No, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up. It all comes down to the quarterback. Who is going to lead your team to that game-winning drive? I said it last week. I thought Tampa Bay over Philly. Tampa Bay almost came back against Philly. Seattle gave up a lead against Arizona. That's the difference between the two teams. One team fights to try and win the game. The other team sort of relaxes to let the other team come back. I like Tampa in this one, 26-23. I think it goes to overtime.
Yep, I'm on the same page as you, and actually the same score, 26-23.
26-23.
I think that Tampa Bay is just a better team. I think Sam Darnold has shown at times that he can be great, but I think it's going to be really tough against this team that's gonna just fight alongside them on the offensive side of the ball. Baker Mayfield, we know how good he is in those clutch moments. Obviously, he lost last week, but that arguably is one of the best teams in the league and one of the best defenses in the league. So to be 3-1 right now, they should not be ashamed. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 26-23.
All right. I like it. I like it. And again, I'm against both of you. Seattle loves to send exotic blitzes. And the key matchup in this game is Rachaad White pass blocking and picking up Devon Witherspoon because they love to send that slot blitz for the cornerback. It's been effective. We've seen times. Remember Aaron Rodgers last year when they dropped the defensive tackles and blitzed their corners and what looked like a masked cover one. It was crazy if you watch that clip. Anyway, but I just think the Seattle defense is elite. Tampa Bay's bad in the red zone. They average 1 red zone touchdown a game. There's 36% red zone touchdown percentage, which is 29th in the league. And you're coming against the Seattle defense at home, 12th man, and Seattle wins this game 23-20. They don't cover it, but they win 23-20.
We're all a field goal apart. You know what? I'm confident in that. We're all pretty similar in scores here.
All right, next game.
Oh man,
who do you got?
My fault. Now I'm like all
discombobulated. Hey, let's do Tennessee, Arizona.
Yeah, Tennessee, Arizona. Go ahead. Max, go, and then Xander will come back, and Xander can talk. All right. We got Tennessee coming into Arizona. This is one of those games I want to make it short too. Tennessee's been wicked disappointing. The offense has gotten worse and worse and worse. I'm surprised Coach Callahan isn't fired yet, and the press conferences are just brutal to listen to. Arizona, they lost to Seattle on Thursday Night Football. They came back, kept it close in a game that was comfortable for Seattle through 3 quarters, which was impressive if you're the Arizona Cardinals. I think they carry that momentum into this game. They win 27-13, covering the 7.5-point spread, and it's comfortable.
Yeah, give me 27-10 in this game. The Cardinals are a very good team, and we talked about the grit that they have. Unfortunately, they have fell victim the last 2 weeks and are now 2-2. Cam Ward is not the issue for Tennessee at all. Cam Ward has done everything that he can as a rookie quarterback so far. His wide receivers suck, man.
The play calling is not creative at all.
No, it's not. And his wide receivers cannot catch the ball, especially Calvin Ridley, who's supposed to be your number one.
Right.
He is really, 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 really bad. Yeah, I already gave my score. I like 27-10 for the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're just straight up the better team.
All right, Xander, we got Tennessee coming into Arizona. Holy smokes. Arizona favored by 7.5 points.
I am no longer on the Cam Ward train, and I want to point out it's not because of Cam Ward, it is because of his coaching system and the amount of talent he has around him. I think Cam Ward can be a successful quarterback in this league. This year, that 400-yard prediction,
Yeah.
no longer saying that ever again. I'm going after watching Arizona last week, the amount of, like Max mentioned on a previous podcast video, they have so much grit offensively, defensively, special teams. Arizona's going to make a run for the playoffs with or without James Conner, with or without Trey Benson. I like Arizona in this game, man, and I don't think it's going to be close. I think they're going to win pretty convincingly. I think Marvin Harrison Jr., although he had a drop that led to an interception, that second half
finished well. Yeah.
Yeah, he finished well. So I think that's a confidence booster for him. I
Right.
like Arizona in this game. I'm going to go 30-15.
30-15. Okay. Now we got the Lions in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's played way better at home. It's frustrating to see all the talent that they have on the offensive side, even with a backup quarterback, just can't seem to get them the ball in the right situation, in the right spot. And, you can't get away with an offense that runs 90% shotgun. Like, that's not what you can do in the NFL. And the problem is they did it with Joe Burrow, and it works because he's the best passer in the NFL, in my opinion. And it doesn't work with Browning because he can't pass like Burrow. So why would you put him in that position? Why would you throw him in the shotgun 90% of the time and not threaten the defense with a run, especially when you can't depend on him to pass the football so far from what we've seen. It's frustrating to see. The defense has stepped up at times. I just think the Lions walk away with this one pretty easily. I got them winning 30-16.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I'm not even going to give insight to this. It's going to be a cakewalk for Detroit. They're loaded on all ends. And then with Jake Browning, you lose faith. You put up 3 points against Detroit now, or you put up 3 points against Denver. You didn't look even close to okay against Minnesota. You looked like trash against Minnesota. Yeah. Now you're going up against Detroit. It's going to be a cakewalk for the Lions. I'm going to go 36-13.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm not even going to say anything. 45-7.
Ooh.
Detroit.
Oh, I like it.
Cakewalk. I like it, man. I mean,
I like it.
It could be very well be that, that could be the story of it. Now this is a good game. I just said it's a good game.
So I know what
be a good game.
About to mention.
Washington at Chargers.
Yep, it might be a good game, but
no, Jane Daniels coming back, man. Like, I like this Chargers defense and the weapon.
Is Daniel starting?
Yes, he is.
He is?
Yes, he is.
Oh, that's
dude. The Commanders are getting torched in man coverage. They are last in the league in yards per completion. They're allowing 13 yards per completion. Every time someone catches the football, they're getting 13 yards on the Washington Commanders. They're getting torched in man coverage. They need to figure it out. I think Chargers win comfortably at home 28-20.
So, had Marcus Mariota started, I would have said 30-21 Chargers. Now that I know Jaden Daniels is starting, I've been one of the biggest Jaden Daniels truthers since freaking week 1 last year. You guys know that. I'm gonna keep 30 for the Chargers, but it's gonna be closer. I'm gonna go 30-28.
Yeah, this is gonna be an extremely hot take. The Washington Commanders are a fraudulent team. They are a fraudulent team. Daniels, he's coming back, so we'll see what they do. But any team that has Deebo Samuel as their number one team is not that good.
If they have McLaurin.
Yeah, McLaurin's out.
He's out this week?
Yeah, man.
Oh fuck! All right, never mind, never mind. I want to back up on my score prediction. I want to back up. Give me 30-24. 30-24.
Third from more, but
I just don't think that this team is that good, and their defense is not good at all. Give me the Chargers easy win, 27-14.
See, I don't think it's gonna be an easy win because Jaden Daniels is still that guy. Granted, most of his wins last season, you look back at the opposing quarterbacks, they're QB2s at best. QB2s at best. Outside of maybe like 1 to 3 quarterbacks, I know off the top of my head, Baker Mayfield one of them, and Jared Goff was the second on. Look back at his other wins; those teams didn't have good quarterbacks. So,
yeah.
But Jaden Daniels against those defenses looked really, really good himself. Chargers have a good defense. I think Jaden Daniels, even without McLaurin, he's going to get some points on the board for this Washington unit. But yeah, I'm going to say 30-24. It's going to be close. I like Jaden Daniels. I love Cliff Kingsbury as an offensive coordinator. But at the end of the day, it comes down to who has more weapons, and that's Los Angeles.
I like it. Max, you lead this. I want you to kick this one off, and I'm going to go after you because you're a Buffalo fan, and I'm a New England fan.
This is the game of the week.
The Buffalo Bills favored by 8.5 points. Go.
This is the game of the week. I don't care how much Buffalo is favored by. The Patriots have a real good shot against this Buffalo defense. Buffalo gets back Ed Oliver and Matt Milano this week. That is huge for them.
That's ginormous.
It's fucking huge for them. And I do think the Bills will win this game. But let's take a deeper dive into this game a little bit. Josh Allen, he's going to do his thing. We know what he's made of. And they're wearing those awesome cold front jerseys this week. And you know that the crowd is popping out for them.
We're going to be texting each other that whole game.
Exactly. The Patriots have been given the Bills a run for their money in the last several matchups. They won in December against backups, but they really gave them a run for their money in the first game of the season last year. And they're the only AFC East opponent who has really given the Bills a challenge over the last few years. Drake May is an incredible quarterback as far as being composed and in the pocket. And when he needs to, he will run out of the pocket. He will get those yards. Buffalo sucks against the quarterback keeper. They are very, very bad. We gave nearly 50, I think it was 50-something yards to Spencer Rattler last week. I'm very worried about this game, but I also am very confident in the Bills just in the fact that the Patriots have been, and Logan, correct me if I'm wrong in your opinion, the Patriots have been turnover
unlucky
in some cases. The Bills have won 26 turnover battles in a row, and that is a NFL record. They also have won 14 straight home games. So divisional matchup is always going to be hard. And Drake May's awesome. I think that they've got some weapons on their offense, but I don't think that they have enough to keep up with the Bills. I just think solely based off of who plays quarterback for each team, Josh Allen, I really think that Buffalo has the advantage here. And I think they win in a close one. I think it is 30-23.
Oh.
Okay,
let me do this real quick. Let me go right off this. So I'm gonna tell you how this game's gonna go. It's gonna be expected to be firepower, and it's really gonna be defense, and it's gonna be Josh Allen. I think he's gonna commit a turnover in a crucial part in this game. But let me explain how this is gonna end. It's gonna be 20-21 Buffalo. Patriots get a stop. They get the ball back. They go down. And they leave too much time on the clock. They kick a field goal, 23-21, give it back to Josh Allen, and they just run it out, get in perfect spot, and they kick a field goal and win this game 24-23. But New England covers. I do think Buffalo wins. Josh Allen has a 127 passer rating on intermediate throws, so he has a very good opportunity to pick apart this defense if Christian Gonzalez
this
can't
is a
carry him
team
on the shoulders.
the Patriots are a team that leave a lot of space open the middle. And when
Right.
you've got guys like Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman who can expose that, it's very, very hard to defend against that. Now, Logan, let me ask you, when's the last time that Buffalo threw a crucial turnover?
It's been a while.
You've got to think about this, though. How much has Allen's game changed in the last 2 years?
Exactly.
Josh Allen went from a gunslinger, don't give a fuck quarterback down the field to a guy who's precise in the pocket.
Mhm.
If you don't have that deep threat down the field, okay, we're going to pass it off to Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir for that 5-yard gain just to get you a little bit closer to that first down. And Buffalo has been that team all year. They were all year last year. Very much why Josh Allen won the MVP award last year. He had 6 total turnovers last year. 6, which is insane for a guy that was the turnover machine for 4 years in a row. Buffalo, I think, just has the clear advantage. I do think it will be close, but people are saying the snow melts in May. Drake May is awesome. I love him. I think he's a great quarterback, but he's not going to be able to compete with Josh Allen when it gets close.
Don't disagree. I don't disagree, and I feel like I'm being generous towards the Patriots. I could see like if it wasn't a 1 score game, I don't see it. I'm giving the page. I'm a little biased. I'm biased. It could be a touchdown game. It could be
Personally, I think you both are being a little
8's too much.
are giving a little bit too much credit towards New England. I mean, they 42-piece Carolina. I'm not impressed.
Xander, what do you think the line should be? What do you think the line? How many points do you think the Bills should be favored?
8.5. Realistically, in my opinion, it's a Sunday night football game. It's in Buffalo. That crowd is going to be rocking, dude. And
especially when it's being a cold front game.
Exactly. It's a cold front game. That crowd is going to be lights fucking out. Josh Allen, statistically on primetime, is one of the best QBs of our generation. I think the line, in my opinion, should be Buffalo, maybe 12.5. And I'm confident in that.
I think it's a 6.5, 7. But
I think it's a 12.5. Is my score prediction 12.5? No. If it was 12.5, I think New England covers. It's 8.5. I think Buffalo covers that. I think Buffalo 33-23, and I'm going purely based on that home field advantage. It's a Sunday night football game. You have the new uniforms. You're introducing those to your fans on a primetime game. You want to look good. You want to feel good. You're going against a division opponent. You want to play your A+ game. And I think Buffalo does that offensively. James Cook is one of the best rushers in the league. He's rushed for over 100 yards in 3 straight games. Patriots, we don't know what Milton Williams' status is this week. He didn't practice Thursday. We don't know about Friday. We don't know about today. And New England, yeah, they looked decent against the run. But this is James Cook we're talking about. We're not talking about the Panthers anymore, who don't have an RB1. They have an RB. It's an RB2, top tier or mid-tier RB2. I like Chuba Hubbard. I don't like Chuba Hubbard. This is James Cook we're talking about. This is Josh Allen we're talking about. They have Keon Coleman, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir. They can throw it over the middle. They can throw it long. They can throw it short. Josh Allen can make plays with his legs. That defense, even though they're injured, they can still make plays. They proved it against the Saints. They proved it the week before. I'm going 33-23 Buffalo.
Man, I hope you're wrong.
A cold front is coming. Cold front is coming.
Josh Allen about to be ice cold, man.
Yeah, I highly doubt that. I would bet my life Josh Allen does not. He plays good to great. I don't think he plays okay. I don't think he plays bad. He plays good to great.
Yeah. So
I know you guys going.
One second, Logan. I think that James Cook is a huge factor in this game. If Milton Williams is not playing, James Cook is going to have another 100-yard game.
100%.
James Cook, tell me if you guys agree. I think that James Cook has the best vision in the NFL. Look at that touchdown versus the Jets, where he has 3 defenders in front of him.
I'll go this.
Right directly in front of him. and he's somehow able to see a lane completely 180 to the left of him, cut it outside, and run for a 46-yard touchdown.
I'd say best vision dating back from last year up until right now.
Yes. This season,
he's the best quarterback, 100%. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree. I'm biased, man. I could see. I don't disagree
clearly
with
I
it,
am
but I'm
too,
biased. But all right, last game on the board. Let's go through this quick. I think it's going to be a really good game, though. Kansas City favored by 3.5 points. Liam Cohen's been really good with this offense. Trevor Lawrence is week to week has always put the team in jeopardy by throwing a turnover worthy play. So, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. Steve Spagnuolo is going to give him fits. We saw what they did to Lamar Jackson. Kansas City wins and covers 27-20.
I like it. It's a Monday Night Football game. It's in Jacksonville, but like Logan mentioned, Trevor Lawrence is a -- 1 pick, and every single year, every single game, he has somewhat put Jacksonville in jeopardy with turnovers. It's mind blowing. Granted, that front office has in a way failed Trevor Lawrence. They have not utilized him with talent offensively. They've surrounded him with a fringe wide receiver 1, and that's, I'm saying that lightly. Trevor Lawrence has never had a wide receiver 1 on his team before. Brian Thomas could ultimately develop into that wide receiver 1. He had an outstanding rookie year.
And this year
he's been okay. Now you're going up against the defending AFC champs. It's on prime time. I like Kansas City, especially against last week. I mean, if we doubted Kansas City, we're just fucking idiots to doubt Kansas City.
They could win the Super Bowl once Rashee Rice comes back.
I did doubt them last week. But it was a close game. I doubted them in.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be a close game. Baltimore win.
I did too. Yeah.
You lose them the fuck.
But you saw the impact that Xavier Worthy had. So just imagine what Rashee Rice is going to do for Xavier Worthy and the whole offense.
I am so happy you brought up Xavier Worthy. The amount of impact he has purely because of his speed, it is a huge impact. Defenses follow him around. They know he can beat that corner in a streak any given day purely because of his speed. So once he beats that #1 guy, that safety immediately has to attack Xavier Worthy and give help to that cornerback. And that just allows guys like Marquise Brown, Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster to get open. And Patrick Mahomes exposed that last week against Baltimore. A lot of guys were following Worthy around, and it left guys like Juju, Hollywood Brown, and Travis Kelce wide open. And I think we're going to expect more of the same this week. Worthy is going to have a huge impact. Maybe it won't show on the stat sheet, but if you look at the game, a lot of guys are going to be traveling with him, and that just leaves other guys wide open middle of the field. I'm going Kansas City here. I do want to take Jacksonville because I love what Liam Cohen is doing with this team defensively and high-key offensively with the run game. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can't doubt Patrick Mahomes, man. You can't. I got to go Chiefs. I'm going to go Chiefs 26-17.
This is such a tough decision for me because ultimately I think that the Jaguars have the better defense right now.
They do, yeah.
I really think that they do, which is crazy because the Chiefs defense is good.
Yep.
They are very good. I just think that ultimately the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. They've got Xavier Worthy back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm literally making this decision right now because I was going to say that Jacksonville wins this game 20-19. But I do think that the Chiefs just have that little incy bit of advantage having Mahomes on the team that they go out and they are the ones that win 20-19. I see this being an extremely, extremely close game.
I like it. And that kicks off our picks video. We'll get the records tallied up. I'm going to go ahead and edit this video and get this posted ASAP. So appreciate you guys joining the call. This has been fun as always. I'm sorry if I seem a little tired, a little jet lagged from, travel. So
Dude, no worries,
you killed it. You killed it, and It's clear as that you had fun in Florida too. So
Appreciate it, boys. As always, it's good talking to you boys. Love talking ball. We'll get back to 2 videos next week. So long. This is the In the Pocket podcast. I'm Logan. That's Max. That's Xander. So long. Peace.
Go Bills.
Boo.